So, brother,
Yes, sir.
2024,
Yes, sir.
True Love. How we going? How we feeling?
Brother, beyond grateful, beyond blessed. I'm like extremely in a very good place, and I'm very thankful, and very, very, very appreciative of everything that's happening, man. Like truly, truly blessed.
You just released the album the other day, Anurag's True Love.
Yes.
How much time, weeks, months, years, how long did it take to come up with this amazing project?
2 years. 2 years was like the exact. If I put it all together, it's when I first met you.
Yeah.
When we started like doing songs and creating our friendship, and that's why it's like perfect that we're able to conversate for like this interview, because I don't do interviews, like I haven't done any like official ones anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was 2 years ago, man. Like I had just released Live Your Truth.
Yeah.
I was just coming out to the city. I'm doing, performing at shows, networking with people,
Yeah.
coming out of the shell of like being in my room, just recording. And I've always been an album maker.
Yeah.
Like I'm always someone who wants to create a story, share a story. So people talking about EPs, people talking about singles only, this, that, like I'm learning about marketing. I'm learning so much, and I'm meeting so many people going and performing first time in my life.
Yeah.
Is like so many things. And I still in the back of my mind was like, yeah, I want to make an album. Like it's the best way for me to be able to express myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And proudly be able to like, show it to you, or show it to my friends, or show it to people who support me, and like, to people who I need to show the music to.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I made a whole album. It took me 2 years. I put my everything into it, and here it is.
How many demos then? Because to make that album, you've got 17 tracks. Phenomenal. How many songs were demos in terms of like got cut from the final project?
So this one is actually really cool. Like this album, maybe like 7, 8, that's it. Which is like less, because when I made Live Your Truth, which is how I introduced myself to everybody in the music scene, like I have 50, 60 like demos. This one I was very clear, like I had this vision. It changed, evolved over time, but album was going to be called True Love or Anurag.
Yeah.
Ended up joining both. Shout out Delicate Sound. He wanted me to use my real name. He said the funniest thing. He was like, "So you're going to release an album called True Love by True Love?" I was like, "Yeah, that shit, that makes sense."
Yeah.
So I was like, he's like, "Yeah, what's your real name?" He's like, "Anurag." He's like, "Anurag." Like, he could have said that he's like Anurag.
Yeah.
Then he said it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, bro, why don't you make that?" I was like, "Okay, cool." And so I was very clear with the vision of this album, where I was going with it. But it just took its journey, like as album creation does. And, I had this idea of A-side, B-side for the longest time, my t-shirt.
Yeah.
And, one side to be Anurag, one side to be True Love. Like that's how it was formed. And then, as you know, towards the end, I decided like, like, why am I doing this A-side, B-side? It's like a whole joint project. And the songs that fit, I deleted the whole album, did all that. That's the whole thing. That day was too funny. Recorded one extra song on the day, like like on that Saturday when I deleted it. Got verse from Travis, Miguel, got verse from Vision, got verse from Coxie, who just sent it. He's like, just messaged me, and it was so crazy. Like we were literally doing it right there, and I uploaded that album that night.
Fantastic.
It was crazy. It was beautiful, bro.
It's been a big process, like you said. 2022, that would have been you started. We met back in 2021.
Yes.
And so you was working on, at that time you was doing the singles. You done a EP with Harry Sharma.
Yeah.
And then, but in the background you was
still working.
Yeah, you're still working on it.
Yeah.
What about production wise? Like, do you make the beats? Because the production, it sounds like it's universal. You've got lots of different beats. You've got Afro beats. You have different type of trap beats. You have even R&B. You even have that in there. So like, tell me about the process in relation to like picking beats.
I produce all my beats.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it straight up. And I make certain beats from scratch.
Yeah.
Then there's certain beats that I have an ear for that I've developed because I started off as a beat maker.
Yeah, same.
So 2010, just like yourself, just like Harry, like 2010 when I started making music, I learned how to make beats first. I didn't even sing or do anything. Like the old way. Now, like, now these guys are just dragging like loops, drums, hi-hats, done, play. Like, bro, now we used to manually do all that like on the MPC, and so that's how I learned how to make beats. And I knew what beat sounded good and what I've put effort into, or what I was just like, let's just put it in whatever, if it feels good, whatever. And that's the same mind that I use when I look for beats.
Yes.
And it helps so much because I know clearly what sound I'm looking for. If it doesn't hit, I know the producer didn't try next. And that's how I'm able to find it. And then what I do is when I find something nice or I find another beat that's really nice, I kind of join them together, detune them, reverse them, cut them up. Like the song Ever Since I Was a Kid, there's 4 beats in there.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Love the switch up. You actually inspired me to do something similar as well.
Yeah.
I've got a switch up and one of the songs I'm about to bring out. But yeah, I did notice that with the full the switch up. I know Drake does that as well.
Yeah.
He's very that's something that he does quite a lot.
Yeah.
But in terms of
and Mr. Kanye.
Mr. Kanye, obviously, Mr. Kanye West. And he obviously started off as a beat producer like yourself.
Yes.
But yeah, I was with the beats I was taken aback because I was like, wow. I just thought it was going to be trap beats or Afro beats, but there was a mixture of even Afro soul. You had all different artists collaborating with all different sounds. So what was the concept then about the album? That's one of my things. I don't think I've asked you.
Production. Yeah, that's a good idea. Production, right? So I've always had this idea, since I was a kid, that I want to create a genre of music called universal.
Okay.
No, universal, UMG. None of that label shit. Like, what's the genre? Like, because everybody gets boxed into hip hop, rap, R&B, soul, Afrobeat, Amapiano. You know, like conscious rap, pop, rock, metal, whatever. I was like, I always had this idea since I was a kid to be like, I want to create a genre called universal.
Universal. I like that.
And the sounds on this album are universal.
So was it in terms of like calculated with the beat selection?
Yes.
Okay.
Very calculated. Like I wasn't trying to go full trap hip hop. I wasn't trying to go full deep R&B soul. I wasn't trying to be full on Afrobeats only. It was like a mixture of everything blended into this thing, like and you can actually hear it. Like, you can't really pinpoint certain parts. You're like, oh, that's a trap beat. Certain song, oh, that's an R&B song. Oh yeah, this has Afrobeat vibes to it.
Yes.
But then it's like still its own thing.
I noticed that. I noticed that even sometimes you might start off like a slow R&B and then all of a sudden it switches.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. So for me personally, I'm inspired by it.
Thank you, brother.
The album is phenomenal. I've been listening to it behind the scenes for the last 2 years. With the production coming up.
I love playing that for you.
Unbelievable. And I feel like, what do you feel like in terms of where you sit in the city at the moment now, music-wise? Adelaide, because you're not born and raised in Adelaide, yeah?
Yeah, no. I came here when I was 12 from India. I am Indian, by the way, guys. Like, I know people don't believe it. A lot of people say that to me, but yes, I am born in India. That's what my birth certificate says. That's where all my memories have been since I was 12. Then I came here, and it's crazy, like, to me, where my position in the city is, because I grew up in the city since I was when I came here in 2005.
Yeah.
So when I was 20, 21, 19, 21, 22, whatever, that's like 2010, 11, 12, 13. There was no music scene here, bro. There's nothing. Like, there's literally nothing like...
boom bap music, though.
Boom bap music. I don't know anything about that.
But we don't do boom bap.
We don't do boom bap.
do that.
Shout out all the
boom bap people,
Yeah, no, I grew up listening to like Lil Wayne, Drake, a little bit of Kanye. I didn't get into Kanye till a bit later, actually. And now, obviously. But there was nothing going on, and I used to be like this kid in my bedroom after I finished high school. I wanted to learn a hobby. I had this thing that I wanted to do. Music was the only thing I really liked the most in anything in life, pretty much. Besides pornography, but not at that time, even now, you know. But we're gonna keep that in. But but like that was the most important thing. I really liked it, and I was like, I need something to do. Like I need something to do. This is what I channel. So I used to just record music, but I used to feel so alone and left out and isolated because there was nobody else doing it. I used to be like, man, like I used to watch all these Travis Scott videos when he was coming up, like America is buzzing. Even Europe is buzzing a little bit. And like there's nothing happening in Australia. Like we used to go to Sydney and Melbourne and they were actually buzzing a little bit. And we're like, and I used to just be like, damn. And all my high school friends know this. Like they watch all my stuff now. They're like, man, you continued. But I continued consistency to this point. I started releasing music in 2019 when I was 26. Like I'm Jay-Z. Jay-Z had his first album at 26. I released my first album mixtape, I call it, because my album is, this is the album.
Okay, so this is your come out album. This is like
Look, The Truth will be my first album debut. This is my
they call it sophomore.
Sophomore. Bro. I'm not. But yeah, the first two projects I would call them mixtape / capsule. The second one had 8 songs. It was an R&B thing. But it was like stepping stones. It was very much needed. Because it's like you already have this vision. I'm creating albums. So me now being 30, by the way, that's another thing I know. Nobody believes it when I say I'm 30. Me being a 30-year-old,
still young, brother.
My music is able to relate and connect to yourself, who's older gentleman just like me. I won't disclose your age on this forum.
I'm Drake's age, by the way.
There you go. Brother said it. Like it's appealing to like that demographic, the people that grew up listening to Drake, Kanye West and all that. And then it's also appealing to the younger generation.
Absolutely.
Which is who I was when I was like, I wanted to do music. And that's like, for me, it bridges that gap, which is so beautiful for me because I still am living the dream of that 19-year-old kid in that room who wanted to like just create music, just be able to perform. Just thought one day I'll be performing at a club in Adelaide, done. Performing at Adelaide, done. 200 people to come into shows, done. Like it's crazy. Surreal. Culture Kings playing my song, done. Like this is all crazy, and like this is just the beginning for me, and I'm at this age where I can take this maturely.
You can hear it in the music. Even with what you said about the universal, in terms of younger generation and older generation, and the Drake generation, because you have a multitude of different sounds going on in your album. Like you have the trap, the turn-up songs. I love the song with you and Marcus Jr. And then you have like the more soulful song. You've got one dedicated to your mum, your dad, your brother. There's a whole different sounds, but it's very well articulated with your lyrics, what you're saying, everything you say. There's a meaning to it. Like every song,
every
has
bar
a meaning.
has to meaning. Even every line has a meaning to it, and that's why I haven't written any songs since I finished this album. Because it's like I noticed that. I'm saying, brother, where's your new songs? No, there's no new songs. No new songs. We're focusing on this album, bro. But I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be like one of those lines that, like when Lady Gaga went around after she what's that, the Star Is Born movie, one of my favorite movies. And she was just like, it only takes one person in the room to like 99 people can reject you, but it only takes one person 100%. To like recognize your talent or whatever. So my line that I'm gonna say now is gonna be beat into that because I've been saying it a lot, and I'm probably gonna be saying it a lot. But when I made this album, when I started making this album, I was sitting there like, how do I motivate myself? What's like, how do I get that out of me? I dropped William, I killed him, this, that, whatever, like the whole William character that I created. I was going to that later, but like, I was like, okay, if I die tomorrow, I keep saying it, if I die tomorrow, if someone comes up and shoots me, or if I get hit by a bus or whatever, if this is the last piece of music I dropped and people remember me from this because music evokes memories. Absolutely. Like I can die peacefully, bro. And that's the mindset I went into. It's like my own, like nobody's living in it. Nobody actually put a gun to my head to make me make this album. I just had to create that in my mind. And that's where this sort of came out. Phenomenal piece of work. I feel like the 17 songs goes about just under an hour. Yes.
are you going to be performing it? Because I feel like that would be good if you perform it multiple times. And will you be performing it interstate? Because I feel like people in maybe Melbourne, Sydney, Gold Coast, they need to hear this. Because not many people is doing what you're doing.
Yes.
Not at this level, like this quality level.
Nobody's doing what I'm doing. In all Australia.
Yeah.
In America, they are, yes.
In America, they are, yeah.
And Europe, they are, yes. But in Australia, nobody's doing what I'm doing. I can say that very confidently. I'm the most versatile artist in this country.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And because, like, for example, like most people would stick to, let's say, Afrobeats if they're Afrobeat artists. Yep. So same in the BPM. Great music, by the way. I love Afrobeats. I've got some Afrobeats on myself. Or if you're a dancehall artist, or if you're a pop artist or rock, you just stick to that. But you've got a universal sound that encompasses many different sounds, but in like the urban type of flavor. And you're right about that. I don't hear anyone diversify to the extent that you have.
Yeah.
And with the meaning as well. So 17 songs is a lot of songs. Any music videos, brother? I know you got one that me you got.
Yes.
I'm on the ad-libs. Give it that flavor,
but that's the thing, like, we'll get into that features thing as well, because like, when I was, this is what I mean by producing an album.
Yeah.
Like, when I was creating this album, I had exactly like what I was trying to do, but obviously you still have to go through the process to then like when someone is building Legos or whatever, you still got to go through the process to be, okay, now that goes there, okay, now that goes over there. You can see the picture, you know how it's gonna look. And I could see the picture, like, you know, on the box they have the I never played Legos, but blocks, whatever. But like or the puzzle, like, you can see the picture, but you still got to put now that doesn't fit, okay, put. And the way the features was that, like, I could literally hear, like, when your feature, usually artists, especially like local artists or independent artists, let's call it. I don't like the local word, it's like cheap. It's like independent artists. When we create songs, it's like, oh, if it's a feature, you got to do a whole verse, and this guy's got to do a whole verse, and it's just a verse, and like, it's like, nah, but how does it actually fit the song? And like Truelove Part 3 is such an amazing song, because I've heard your ad-libs, they're so beautiful. You've done them on so many songs we've done together and in your own songs. And I was like, that literally fits in perfectly. And I was like, Mark, I just need you to just do this. And you literally did it, and it was perfect.
It reminds me of the song Drake's got with T.Y. Dollar Sign, called Jaded.
Jaded,
yeah. One of my top 3 Drake songs of all time. And like I said, it adds it to it.
I listen to Jada without T.Y. Dollar Sign ad-libs, it'll just sound empty.
Yeah.
And that's exactly like the way you came through. It's like fills that song the same way Sandra is on Ever Since I Was a Kid.
Yeah, beautiful song.
You know, just like, I think it's like 45 seconds. And then it just comes from there. Then Sandra comes in with a beautiful voice, literally takes everybody's breath out. Then beat drop, then I come in. Then this guy called James Talab from Melbourne, just a little outro. You know, like, these are all things that all came like while I was working on it. The original song was already done, like my verse was done like ages ago. Then I reworked it actually. One of my favorite songs on this album, Got Her and Love Is All I Need. Is like my favorite song, White Kid and Licey, bro.
It's one of my favorite songs. That's my top 3 of your songs in this album. That's I don't like having tops, but that is in there. That is in there.
And like,
love it.
That one, I promise you on God that the vision for that song was already in my head. As soon as I heard the beat and I did my hook, I already knew how the song was gonna be, and I already knew I wanted to put White Kid and Licey on it. Like, I just knew it. And then White Kid came and we did the verse, and it was done. Like, I knew he's professional. Then I sent it to Licey, even more professional. He got his own studio, sent it back. And when I heard it, I was like, this is exactly how I envisioned it. I knew it was gonna be like this, and it actually came out. And I was like, for me, I was like, as a producer, I was like, man, I actually created exactly what I envisioned.
It's beautiful when it
That's
comes to
what people like dream about, because you have these ideas in your head and you're not able to sometimes completely capture
and manifest it.
So you settle for the 70% version of it.
Yes.
But that was like 100% completion. That was beautiful.
Last part for that is a video, because that song.
Oh yeah, video. Bro, there's gonna be at least 5 videos from this album. Definitely. This album is all year. This all summer, all winter. We're rolling into winter now. I wanted to release it for the summer because Truelove High.
Yes.
That song is so dope. it's getting so much love, and like I knew it as soon as I made that song. I remember calling you.
Yes.
And it was like such a special song because I think when I created True Love High, in this like little tin shed bedroom, you know, when I was staying at my dad's house. That's a whole journey as well. The album, the journey where it's been. But when I made it, I literally thought like, oh, I've completed my 1,000 hours or 10,000 hours, whatever you call it. Cause I was like, this shit is now so simple. Like that's what I thought of when I like created that song. I was like, oh, this shit is actually so simple.
Yeah.
This is what all that work took to get here to simplify it. And that song is one of my favorite songs that girls love it. My girl loves it. You know, girls are sharing that on their stories.
Absolutely. The song, the yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like the crowd loves it whenever I perform it. Played at Culture Kings. They were like, what like, this is sick. So yeah, like that one is definitely getting a video for sure. White Kid Got Her in Love is definitely getting a video for sure.
Yes.
True Love Part 3, we already know there's a video for that. Marcus Jr., Showtime, we're getting a video.
That's the anthem.
That's the anthem, yeah. That one actually came from a place where me, Delicate, and Marcus Jr. had actually created a song called Keep the Fame.
Ah, yes, I remember
ages ago. It's in the waltz. Delicate, take that shit out. Come on. He's been hiding that shit for too long. And I was going to put it on my album. And then Delicate's like, nah, I want it for my album, whenever that comes out. It's like Detox. It's like Delicate, but we're like, what are you, Dr. Dre, like, hiding shit. Like, but so he's like, I'm like, all right, bet. Then I created that, and I was like, all right, you can keep the fame. Like
you wanted a similar type of
similar type of anthemic type of song.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I like when I made that verse, I was like, damn, what the fuck? And I was like, there's only one person that needs to be on it. My favorite artist in the city is Marcus Jr.
Marcus Jr. Absolutely.
And it's like he had to be on it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to call him my friend now, because that's a guy that I was like when I was coming out to the city in terms of musically. People were like, oh yeah, Marcus Jr., Kid Leroy, Marcus Jr., you know, that whole thing. And I learned all about it. I was like, damn, this guy was this close, like, to that level that we all thinking about, or we all trying to get to. And to now be like his friend and be his peer and respect each other's music and stuff, like, it's crazy for him to come through. And he came through with his OG verse. And that song is like beautiful.
Yeah. Now, talking about getting to that level.
Yeah.
What if a record label comes along? Is that what you would want? Or not really?
So I've been going hard on this independence thing, and you know, it's like very inspiring to have the biggest artist in the world, our favorite artist, Kanye West, being independent.
Well, Kanye West and Drake both.
Yes. Yeah. How about Drake's not independent though?
Yeah, it's not
Drake's
independent.
still
Independent, Kanye West.
But yes. But like Kanye and doing everything that he's doing independently, his music, his songs got #1 because of people, not because of push. And industry push.
The industry has to now promote it. So
I mean, they have to promote it, but the people spoke first.
They
were trying to take it down Apple Music. They were trying to take it down Spotify, all that stuff. And you know, like, so I've seen that, and that's very inspiring for me, because that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Everything we're doing, even here, like doing the interview here, Songbird Society, these guys are independent studios.
Yeah.
And they just preach that, and I want to like live that. So label, if they approach me, like the way I think about it is, how much leverage can I build, first of all, that if I'm doing all this by myself, what value are they actually going to offer me? Okay, they're going to take it to the next level. Touring nationally, like you said.
Exposure.
Exposure. Yeah. International, maybe. All that. Okay, cool. So I feel like that might be really cool. And what you do is make sure, obviously, read the labels, like read the contracts and all that properly. But maybe like an album deal or a 2-album deal.
Yeah.
Get all that exposure. And everything that you can get out of it.
And then maybe go back to independent.
Now you've got that, you've broken through like that door. You've come through that door, you've broken through, you've made it like that, and now you can come back to independence. But you just gotta be very careful with the contract.
Yes.
And that's a whole different side of the industry that, you know, we'll find out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that talk about, you know, this, that. Look, only way to find out is you gotta first get to the door.
First get to the door.
And then go through it, then find out what's actually in there. Then we'll see, bro.
Well, I think a few gigs in Sydney or Melbourne, where a lot of the record labels are based in, may have you like knocking at the doors of some A&Rs, potentially. Is that would be something that you would like?
I mean, I moved to Sydney in 2021, start of 2022, sorry, for about 6 months just to see what I could do. Yeah. But I realized I moved way too early.
Way too early. Yeah.
I still hadn't done what I needed to do. I skipped a step, I guess, and I had to come back to Adelaide and build my way up. Yeah. You know, I had to become the biggest, most popular, well-known artist in this city first. And then go to that next level.
Do you think you are at the moment? Do you think you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like it's crazy, and I'm very grateful. But like people who grew up in the music scene in Adelaide, white kid, all these other artists that live down north side. Yeah, a lot of people, they know everybody. I was a complete outsider. Nobody knew me, and I came in like, you know, in 2021, like a tsunami, literally, and like, and it's crazy. Like everybody knows me. Yeah. Like north side, south side, all these artists in Adelaide, they heard of Truelove. Like, yeah, I heard of Truelove. Yeah, there's that. They've heard of me negatively. They heard of me positively. They've heard of me doing shows. They've heard of me going on rants. Yeah. They've heard every single thing about me, good, bad, like whatever. But all publicity is good publicity, mine, bro. Yeah. Like so I definitely feel like it's crazy for me to be sitting here and so many people know me through music and through all of that. And I was a complete outsider. Yeah. So I've definitely achieved my goal there. Like I'm very, very well known in the city.
You do.
I be working so hard these days, boy. I be going so hard.